raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulder.
It's good to have you join us again, this time on our another episode of Self-Discovery. I am your self-discovery coach, Dr. Maureen. I am from the southern part of Nigeria, and of course, I am a doctor of philosophy in consumer behavior and strategic marketing. I'm going to be taking you through a very interesting topic, which is the family relationship. It's a topic that a lot of people, everybody wants to be part of. It's a relationship that most people are already inside, or most people are aspiring to be inside. So there are a few things you need to know about it. I'm going to be talking to you about having a good, enjoyable family relationship. Now we'll look at what family is. What is family? Family is the man, the woman, that's the husband, the wife, and the children. There are instances when you have only the mother, the children, and maybe the extended family. But we're talking about an ideal family. A family, you may be a single parent with your children, or you may be married with your children, but we're talking about, a family made up of more than one person, the man, the woman, and the children. There are a few attributes that you need to have a very good family. It is very enjoyable, and it could be very interesting when you have a beautiful family that you can look back to, that would make you always go back home to meet. Now, I'd like to tell you from the studies of one Professor Jacqueline Gab. He says in a normal working couple relationship, most couples have only 150 minutes to spend together. And so, even in the 150 minutes, they have only 50 minutes to actually talk to each other. But sometimes, some people use the 50 minutes to watch television. Some people use it on social media. But for a good, ideal family, you need to create time to spend time together. You probably need to look for special days. Maybe Monday, maybe Saturday. Look for a day where you will spend time together, yourself, your spouse, and your children. I'd like to take you through 4 beautiful attributes that will help you enhance your family relationship. And first and foremost is what you do together. That is being together, bonding together. I like to tell you that when you bond together as a family, it helps the children develop. It helps them, it develops their brains. It helps them to overcome fear. It helps them to overcome difficulties. Sometimes children lose appetite. They don't feel like eating. If you don't give attention to your family, you won't even know when your child is not eating well. So you need to bond together. You need to even develop moments where you will agree to say, this time around, we must have a family time together. The time we have together is having dinner together. That time you sit together, understand each other, know what happened in your spouse's life within the day, and all other things. So bonding is very important. It is a unique time that you set aside for your family. And so you discuss things together. You look at the pros and the cons of how far you fared. It's very critical. And then one of the attributes that makes a good family relationship is communication. But before I talk about communication, I'd like to tell a story. There's this man, a husband and wife, that have been married for over 10 years. The man gave the wife a timetable of the kind of menu he would like to be having, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And so the woman follows it, hook, line, and sinker. She walks and abides with it. And so one of these days, the man felt like eating something different. And in these days of social media, he sent a text to his wife. And of course, the wife at home had already looked at the menu. Of course, it was supposed to be fried rice and salad. She was singing, very happy, preparing the fried rice and salad, not knowing that her husband had sent her a text. And then she didn't look at the text, and then the man got back home. She welcomed him home. He got to the dining table and sat down. And as soon as he opened the dish, of course, that his regular plantain. He flung the plate, threw it away, and was very upset. And the wife said, what's going on? He said, I sent you a text. She said, I didn't. At that moment, her phone rang, or beeped. Her phone beeped. And then she took it out. Behold, that was the time she was receiving the text message that the husband had sent to her, telling her of what he actually wanted to eat. So what am I saying? Communication is critical. Don't assume. Make sure whatever you're communicating to your partner gets to your partner. Make sure your partner receives it. You can't assume that you'll send a text message, it will get to the person. So when you want to discuss something that is important with your spouse, you must be able to call your spouse and discuss with your spouse, and make sure that your spouse understands what you're talking about. Otherwise, it can bring friction. And guess what? The gentleman was very apologetic and he was so sorry. Well, it earned his wife a new phone and she was very happy about it. So communication is critical in relationship. It is so critical in family relationship because family relationship is no joke. It's a school. You learn every day in it. It's a school that never ends. You never graduate from the family relationship. So please communicate properly with your spouse and make sure your spouse understands what you're saying. Then there's an aspect of communication I would like to talk about, that is the non-verbal communication. There are non-verbal communications that you need to understand through your body language, through some signs that you do to your children. And for my children, there's a way I look at them, they know exactly what I mean. When there's a visitor in the house, they know what to do just through sign language. So it's good to train each other so that, because it's not everything and every time that you have to talk. There are times that you understand sign languages. Most people don't understand sign languages, but you need to train to understand sign language. That's a topic for another day. But well, it's very important to communicate and understand each other. Feedback is important. You know what you're saying, understand, ensure that your spouse understands it. Then another thing we'd like to talk about here is, of course, teamwork. But before I talk about teamwork, I'd like to say that you must, in your communicating with your spouse, make time to talk and laugh. Make time to talk and laugh. Make time to understand each other. Make time to be able to get feedback. To say, did you understand what I told you the other day? Oh, there's a need to, review how far you're going. Be ready for spontaneous questions from your children. Back to communication. Be ready because children are quick to say, Mom, I want to tell you something. Dad, I want to say something to you. Don't say, what is it? Listen to what they have to say. Even if you don't have an answer for it, tell them, I'll get back to you later when I finish what I'm doing. It's very critical. Encourage your partner or your children with praise. You need to tell them when they're doing well. You need to tell them you've done well. Oh, you've done excellently well. When you haven't done well, say, well, you didn't do well. I know you'll do better the next time. Then, of course, you learn to show appreciation, love and encourage them through the words you speak to them. Speak positive words to your children. Don't tell them very nasty words so they don't grow with it. And, words are powerful. So speak the kind of words that will help to mold your children, and they'll become a blessing to you in future as they grow up. Apply non-verbal communication. I've talked about that. Resolve misunderstandings carefully, like the story I told you about the spouse, the two couple, how they resolved that issue amicably, and then it earned her a beautiful gift, and she was very happy about it. Please take advice. When your spouse advises you, listen to him or her. Take advice. Do not be angry. Like what I used to say to my friends, just swallow, take a deep breath, and just manage through it. One of my clients was talking to me yesterday, and she said to me, do you know that I was looking for my ring and I was very angry, and my son came up to me and said, Mommy, what are you looking for? And I said, my ring. He said, is that why you're very angry? Mommy, you don't have to be angry. It's just a ring. It's just a wedding ring. That doesn't mean that you're not married. You're married and you have us. Be happy. Take a deep breath, Mom. Take a deep breath. And of course she did take a deep breath, and then she became happy. So most times when you're angry, take a deep breath. When you're angry, just walk out a little bit. Do something you like to do. I like to go out for exercise when I'm angry. When I come back, I feel relieved. I feel happy. So look for what you like to do. Manage your family relationships properly. And that takes us to teamwork. Well, in talking about teamwork, you need to all work together. You need to be able to share responsibilities. Let everybody know what they're responsible to do. Let them know what they have to do per time. Absence of sharing responsibility brings chaos in a family setting. In my family, for example, my husband knows exactly what his duties are. Like I used to say, I don't like, bothering myself about what happens around the generator. I just feel that's his own duty, and he knows it. So he does not joke with that. So find out what your responsibility is. Share responsibility to your children, and let your children learn to be helpful to one another. If you have a son or a daughter that can read very well, let that child teach the younger child what to do, and it gives them a sense of belonging. It makes them know that they are helping out. Teach your children to learn to know what to do, how to help each other. Marriage can be very sweet, but there are a lot involved in it. It depends on how you make it. How you make your bed is how you lie on it. Try and understand each other. Try and let trust be the anchor, word between all of you. So when you are out, your spouse knows that you're in order. She doesn't listen, or he doesn't listen to outsiders or to people that are coming to say different things. It's very, very critical. Then that takes us to the fourth attribute, and that is appreciation. Valuing each other is key. Most people don't know how to value their relationship. There's this saying that says you don't know how to value a thing until you lose it. We don't want anybody to lose their spouse to some other person, so you need to value your spouse. People, you must discover what your spouse is good at. You must be able to know that, wow, if my spouse is here, I won't have to bother. He or she will take care and cover this area. Acknowledge each other, appreciate each other. Find out how your spouse's day was spent. Don't assume, he has come in the daily routine. You can never tell, what had happened outside. Share in it. Show interest in each other's lives. Find out from your spouse what exactly he or she wants to do. Find out time to even take a vacation together and discuss what you have to do in the future. It's very critical. Find out from your children. Don't just ask them, how did your day go at school? And they say, fine, and you feel that's fine. Go into their schoolwork, spend time to find out what they did, probably speak to their teachers once in a while, give them a hug, give them a kiss once in a while, be happy around them, make your children feel loved. Some children that grow around very healthy family make very healthy family themselves when they grow. So it's very critical. Share your memories together, family memories, family stories, things that have happened in the past. Tell your spouse, oh, do you remember when we went for this wedding, what happened? Tell stories, enjoy your time together, and laugh a lot. Acknowledge talents, in your children, in your spouse. You could have differences, but resolve them very quickly. And of course, everybody has ability. Praise them when they are doing well. Like I said, use each other's strength. Discover each other's strength. I have a family friend whose wife is very good when it comes to organizing. She is just fantastic. And I tell him, please acknowledge her because that's what she's good at. So it is very important to find out what your spouse knows what to do and bring out that part of the person most of the time. Even when you want to be angry, remember that part of it, and then it will put a smile on your face. I like to say it's important to help one another. Remember, there are extended families, so we have to agree on how to deal with it. Don't spring surprises on me by bringing your mother or your father without us having to talk about it. I will talk about in-laws in a full text, and that will be on a Zoom conversation. I'll tell you how to manage in-laws. People don't like to hear the word in-laws. Some people want their mothers dead, but you can't ask for your mother-in-law to die because you are a potential mother-in-law. I'll be inviting you to my Zoom meeting where you'll be free to ask questions and to find out a lot and to know how to manage in-laws. Well, I'll thank you all for tuning in this time around, and I'll ask you to go on our social media platform, look at our previous episodes where we talked on acquaintancy and and different kinds of relationship, romantic relationship. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you at our Zoom meeting that will be coming up very shortly. Thank you.